Top boxes full. We've got the green light again. We'll keep the show running.
Okay, let's have it. The shearers that are setting up there, everything. Just a little question. We were promoting equal rights for women, and now we're giving them 10 kgs less in the press. Oh, I don't know quite how that works, but anyway. Okay, shearers, are you ready? We have a green light. Timekeeper's right. Judges, competitors, go. We're off into the pen again. Paul Wagstaff here on the front. William Taylor on 2. Dalton Tangawai on number 3. Simon Green on 4. Quinton Trass on 5. And Will May down on stand number 6. He probably doesn't want to have a name like that if he's over in England. The Brexit deal could be thinking in his mind. He says, to hell with it, I've come to New Zealand to shear sheep and I want to get the job done right, and he's down the first off leg just as quick as I speak. Got a local flavour, Quinton Trass from Masterton, down the off leg on stand number 5. Tikakino, we have Simon Green. On 4, Paiters, Dalton Tangawai. Masterton's William Taylor. Paul Wagstaff, Tikakino on the front stand. That's how they roll. This is heat number 2. The yellow figures up there on the big screen. That is how we rock on the first 2 heats. Adam Chase is the top gun at the moment. So there's still a chance for any one of these competitors to get to the top of the heap, but you've got to get on with the job. Stepping forward up the neck as stands 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 are down under the off shoulder. The long blow coming up. First off shoulder down for our Englishman. Will May round the back of the head. He's about to swing. But you need to get the job completed in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of penalties on the board and least amount of penalties out the back. Farmers Weekly Junior Shearing going pretty strongly, Norman.
Certainly is. Some good competitors up there, as you'd expect at the Golden Shears, John. And coming from all corners of the globe. Will May down there on stand number 6, all the way from England. Another of our international shearers here today. And of course, a big welcome to all of our international shearers to the Golden Shears here in Masterton, the 59th Golden Shears. And I know it's a goal for a lot of overseas shearers to compete at the Golden Shears at Masterton. So Will May certainly achieved that goal. He's up there on the board, sheep number 1, and down over the last front shoulder for Will. Simon Green and Quinton Trass out the hole with sheep number 1. Last side time for the rest of the field. And down they come, down over the last front shoulder for Dalton Tangiwai from Pahiatua. Paul Wagstaff on stand number 1. He's right there too, down over the last front shoulder for Paul. Under the front leg for Will May, the Englishman, on 6. And down comes William Taylor, the local man, on stand number 2. But the 2 on stands 4 and 5, that's where the pace is being set. Simon Green and Quinton Trass out with the belly into the first hind leg. Finishing touches for Dalton Tangiwai. Finishing touches for Will May. Roll around under the hamstring, over the tail, and out it goes. Sheep number 2 about to come out for these 2 competitors. In and out of the pen. Will May, or he may not. He's in now. And out he comes. In goes Paul Wagstaff. Just picked up a couple of shots on the boys.
Throw them at him.
William Taylor.
You can take them up.
Finishing touches, and that'll be the whole field out with the second sheep. John, sheep number 2 on the board for all 6 shearers now.
Yeah, they're working away to the job nicely, right?
So what's our next?
Say a good field here. 8 heats in this competition. We had 8 in the novice. We had a huge amount of wool handlers. By crikey, we're going to be stretched to the limit today as we just make sure that all our competitors are on time for their heats so we can keep the show ticking along, and we do appreciate your cooperation. The pace, though, from Masterton's Quinton Traus down there on stand number 5. He says, I want to get on with the job. I might have to go home and mow the lawns later. So he's down the last side. He comes now. He's got away from the rest of the field. Well, they're just on 4 minutes and 30 seconds gone, and he says, well, I'll maybe get the fastest time, but you need to have that quality as well. And down the off leg, come to the front stand here, doing very, very carefully, Paul Wagstaff. Right down to the floor with those shots. Not over choking the comb. 2 good shots up over the tail now. Sheep have been well crutched out. They've been well trucked in by the trucking companies as Quinton Trouse completes the job, turns the plant off, takes his time. It goes on and on, the number of people we need to thank for this great competition taking place. Starts with the sheep owner, and we have a Te Matai station, and Bruce Tomlin has been supplying sheep here for a number of seasons. Then it goes to the crutches. They've got to go out and prepare the sheep. We also have the truckies, the shepherds that gather them and tend them throughout the previous 12 months of their life and coming forward in this great shearing condition at the moment as they drop into the first off shoulder now here on stands 1 and 2. Last side coming up on stand number 6 as we work along. The pen staff out the back, the wool handlers in the front, the pen staff behind the TV screens. It takes a heck of a lot of people, the sponsors, you name it, the people on the committee. There's just hundreds of people involved to make this show work so well. And it's good to see we've got a good lineup of competitors here in the classes so far that are honouring the work that's gone into this competition. So well done. And we come down the last side now, making no bones of it. They want to make the next round, and I'm sure they're going to.
Could Ronnie King and Sam Saunders come to the announcer's desk, please? That's Ronnie King and Sam Saunders. We need you here. Thank you.
Okay, the last side, just beckoning. Here we have Wooly Taylor coming down and out to the flank now. He may be just a couple of shots in front of Dalton Tangawai. Very slow, steady hand. If you can get the wool off that quick and that clean, you're going to go a long way in this competition. Hit that button. That's the story, the red button on the black rectangle box there. Sheep down the porthole. They're all off for their time. Quinton Trass, he's got his figures up there. He's been judged completed. And now we'll move on to heat number 4.
Heat 4 of the junior shearing. Lucas Broughton, Kirk Karaitiana, Jeremy Goodger, Vinnie Goodger, Dylan Tanetti and Kingston Kuru. Could you guys please up on the stage? Heat 5, if they could please be ready. Zabin Hira, Kimberly McLean, Josh Hopkirk, Darren Bryant, Samantha Baxter and Mark Baxter. That's Heat 5, following this Heat 4. Thank you.
So we've got some wool presses down there. How they going, Gerald?
Yeah, they're working their way through it. They're doing a steady run. 150, they're into 17, just on 18 minutes. So it's no 100-metre dash. It wasn't for the individual man, and it's not going to be for the individual woman. She's hard yakka. Here we've got this great competitor, Araha Edmonds, a top senior wool handler, but here she is for the first time on the press, and she's giving it heaps. Nice, tidy presented bale. The corners are good. Her work area is reasonably tidy. She's got her partner beside there in the seat saying, right, keep going, stay focused, keep breathing. Get those pins out, one at a time will do. We're not long before we're going to have a hand up there, I wouldn't say. Fina down here, she is into the staples. The top bit's going to get tidied up. Namana name, of course, very, very big in this shearing industry and locally right here in Masterton. And here she is, the past winner of 2016. She does the finish up too as far as stapling the cap up. down here. Encourage them home if you wish, folks. They've been going, how many minutes is it now? 19 minutes they've been lying it out here on the floor. They are giving it everything they can for you, Masterton, and themselves. They've done themselves both very proud, and there's absolutely nothing in it here. The bail is up for Araha Evans. The door is getting shut. Let's stay with it. Afina says that's a big finish by Afina. There's absolutely nothing in it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a photo finish for those two. It'll come down to the scales now. What a big finish there. There we go, John.
Ronnie King to the announcer's desk, please, and Sam Saunders.
Green light. Timekeepers are right. Judges. Competitors, go. Heat number 4, we're off and go. Oh, the door was locked. Hey, that's a couple of seconds wasted. You got to neek into that pen and neek out without spooking your sheep. We got Lucas Broughton here on the front stand. Kirk Cariatana on number 2. Jeremy Goodyear on 3. Vinny Goodyear on number 4. Dylan Tanetti on stand number 5. And down on the 6, Kingston Kuru. So we got a couple of these triathlon shearers up here. The Goodyear boys are just going to go through the process, and they've put out the big bales before in this morning's run. I believe one of them done it in about 9 minutes, or just a shade over. And here we have the young ladies just finishing the job down there, and they're doubling the score on that. So the power of these young Goodyear boys up here on the stand is more than evident. Here we go. Takapau's man, the shearer, he's right on the job. He's the first to step up the neck and around the back of the head. Keen young shearer as he goes now about his task, and the sheep says, I want to wave to the crowd. He starts to move a leg around a little bit. He'll let go the back of the head shortly and then just move down and put his forearm on the neck and grab that front leg and lift it up a little bit to pull the wrinkles out, and he drops it into the offside now and working away from the judge. He's trying to cover up so the judge can't see any second cuts he's taken off. But they're cunning old shearers, these guys. They have known, the guys in the grey shirts, they know where the second cuts are going to occur, and they'll get it sorted, and they'll have a peeky sneak around the corner as we come across the last side down on stand number 6. Working away Kingston Kuru. Big strong shoulders on that lad as well. These guys have been going to the workshop every morning to build up. By the look of it, they've been pumping weights just to come and shear these sheep in Masterton. They're that strong this year, as they are pretty much every year we come down here. Down the last side they come together on stands 5 and 6. The Goodyear brothers are probably just more content to shear along and keep their job right. And they're doing that all right so far. Who's got the best quality? Are they both going to make it through to that triathlon final? Who knows? Out the last egg here on stand number 2, but we got sheep number 2 on the board down on stand number 6, Norm. Hey, they're doing it pretty well. First lot of those yellow figures up there, Norm, are of course all the completed results from this grade.
That's right, so we can see they're running board up there at the moment, the top 18 at this stage, but of course we've got a few heats to go. Now Kingston Kuru down there on stand number 6, leading the field as far as speed goes. Has he got the quality to match? Time will tell. All the way from Wharangaho, up the necky steps. Dylan in front of him from Wongonga, for Dylan Tanetti. Turns and slides into the first hind leg. And the Goodyear brothers, Jeremy and Vinny, blow for blow as they step into the pen for sheep number 2. These two, well known in the shearing world, of course. Pressing is their specialty, and they're the best in the world, folks, up there on stands 3 and 4. Way down the belly they go. So they're obviously in the event that encompasses shearing, pressing and wool handling. So they're up there having their share. Kirk Karadiana from Takapau swings around into the front shoulder on his second sheep. Looking for the long blow. Lucas Broughton from Wanganui on stand number 1. Way down the belly he goes. So they've all got 2 on the board, but Kingston Kudu, another couple of shots. Rolls around over the tail, just stroking the wool off the young fella. And out it goes. Drops it down the chute. He can stand and straighten his back and watch the rest of the field come home. Just put a wee bit of pressure on them. But of course he's got to have the quality points if he wants to go through into that top round. Time isn't everything. Very important, but it's not everything. Some of these young guys are that good with their quality. They'll pull back a minute in time, no worries at all. 3 points, 1 point every 20 seconds. So Dylan down over the last front shoulder, looking for a finish right there with Kirk Karadiana, or Kirk a couple of shots ahead, of course, as he works his way out onto the hind legs. Socks come off. And the young man on stand number 2 be looking for the button very shortly. The wee red button behind him will stop the time clock.
You're right, you could go.
Kirk and Dylan and Kirk, not much in it, but Kirk got Aitiana, leads for the button, and it's flashing as time clock has stopped. Young Dylan, another couple of shots, he'll be joining him.
Yeah.
Out it goes. Well done, guys. Lucas Broughton, stand number 1. Jeremy and Vincent Goodger, stands 3 and 4. All got the last sheep on the board, but Lucas just down over the last front shoulder. Turning for home of the Goodger brothers, down over the last front shoulder together. They must do everything together, these fellas. Great competitors, great men in the industry. Very fit, very focused competitors, these 2 brothers. And of course, they are the leading names in the wool pressing fraternity.
And I'm also
Multi-time champions here at the Golden Shears in the wool pressing. Lucas Broughton finishing touches for the big fella on stand 1. Hits the cord. Hit your button there, Lucas. There, time taken. Well done.
I just see a wild sheep out in the audience, Norman. I think the pen staff have let one out of the coop. It's a hell of a big sheep.
Really?
It must be a Suffolk cross. It's got the black face.
Is it a ram or a wether?
Unsure. Get your hand smacked if you try and find out.
And there we go. Jeremy Goodger reaches for the button. Well done, Jeremy. Vinny, just a wee bit of trouble on that last leg. It's a bit ticklish, that one, Vinny. Over the tail he rolls. Ooh, he's looking pretty fit, John, isn't he, this young Vincent Goodger?
He's looking hard to beat at the moment. Hey, he's packed on a couple of strong muscles on that body in the last couple of years, and he's shown very, very well.
Okay, Heat 5, Junior Shearing, Zabin Hira, Kimberly McLean, Josh Hopekirk, Darren Bryant, Samantha Baxter and Mark Baxter. Heat 6, Sumas Boyle, Henry Mayo, Joseph Gordon, Daniel Owen, Mark Gwynn, McKeown Urus. For those 6, please be ready for the next heat.
Rightio, we're good to go for our second heat down here at the individual woman. So, press number 1, we have Jackie Parku. And press number 2, Fiona Healy. In that case, the judges are ready. Presses, on your marks, get set, go. Right, we're underway. Just while they're getting themselves organised, I have the results here for the semi-finalists. These are the ones to go through for the semi-finalists for the men's individual, which will be on tomorrow morning, Friday morning. Do you want to get that started, John?
Yeah, thank you. Green light's on. Shearers on the board. Stand 5. Righto, let's go. Pull him out. Her out, Samantha. Come on, Sam. Timekeeper's right. Judges right. Competitors, go.
Thanks very much, John. As I'm just saying, on Friday, that's tomorrow morning, your finalists will be in this order with 37.1 points for the individual men's pressing from Masterton, Vincent Goodger. Vinny Goodger's the top qualifier, folks. Second place with 44 points is Jeremy Goodyear, of course, from Masterton, folks. Jimmy Samuels from Martin comes in third. And your finalists again last year, Ricky Stevens has made it through again, folks. So there they go. Vinny Goodyear, Jeremy Goodyear, Jimmy Samuels and Ricky Stevens. Make sure you're here tomorrow morning for that. It's going to be a bit of razzle and dazzle. Okay, we're going to be right in there and right amongst it. Right, so just while they go to their work here, we've got an 8 times winner here, okay, just over here, Fiona Healy. She's won this event 8 times. That takes a little bit of doing. She has dominated this ladies' scene as far as the individual pressing goes. Local girl of Masterton too, of course. Then on press 1 here, Jackie Parku. Well, she's in the triathlon. Her and her partner have their own shearing run in Wairarapa. And she's also just got her New Zealand judging badge for shearing, okay, so she can be a shearing judge. So good on you for giving back already, and you'll find that with a lot of these competitors, they compete, but they're also very, very good at giving back to the industry because the industry has been very good to them. Once again, I'd like to say we had the sponsors for the men's and the sponsors for the women, and all the pressing from doubles to the novice is the same sponsors all the way. Long-serving sponsors here, Farmlands Co-op, not hard to support them back, and Woolpacks New Zealand, not hard to support them. So please do so. Once again, thank you so much for your continued support here. Right, we'll let these girls do their work because they've got another 15 minutes in front of them. Okay, John.
Oh, that's long and hard, isn't it? Hey, then there's no withdrawals as we go in for sheep number 2 down on the far end. The Baxter, he says, let me at it. I can handle these sheep, and into the belly removal down the brisket. Got to take that whole brisket off because the judges like to see all that discoloured wool off on the first shot. Flicks the belly out the back. Turns onto the last side now. We're about to come onto the last side here over McLean from Motueka on stand number 2. She was champing at the bit. She had a hand on that door as soon as she got up onto the board. She was just raring to get into these sheep. Down the last side now comes Samantha Baxter, working across that shoulder. They come into the shearing game, started in the Woolhandling. Now she's working away through the ranks.
Just call those ones, Dave. That's the next heat.
Well, we need Seamus Boyle, Henry Mayo, Joseph Gordon, Daniel Owen, Mark Gwynn and Mikael Rees. They'll be waiting down for the next heat, please, as we step forward up the top. Young Darren Bryant. Hey, that name has been around the shearing circles for a little bit too, coming across from Levin. Around the back of the head, and that first off shoulder beckons for him. Likewise as Josh Hopkirk from Masterton on the stand number 3. Out the last leg comes Kimberly McLean. Motueka up the front. We got Xavier Hira. Into the long low he goes now. Look at his good strong young shearer, this fella, and he's right down on top of his sheep. Not too much pressure, but the right amount of pressure to hold them together. But down on stand number 6, looks like all the pace. Hey, for the big strong fella, Mark Baxter. What do you reckon, Norman?
I reckon you wouldn't be far wrong there, John McBride. Last leg to go for the young fella down the far side. At Sam Baxter from Pongaroa. So Mark hits the cord, hits the button, time's taken, and he can stand and stretches back and watch the rest of them come home. And of course, Sam in front of him, just down into the first hind leg. Darren Bryant, last side for Darren, over the last front shoulder. A couple of shots behind Josh Hopkirk. Josh has only got to roll over the tail, another couple of shots, and he'll be looking for that button himself. Hit the button, Josh. There it is. Time clock stopped on stand number 3. Well done, Josh. And Zabin, another couple of shots if that sheep will let him, and he'll be looking for the button as well. Rolls around it. over the tail, round under the hamstring. Darren Bryant, time taken. Zabin Hiller, time taken. Well done, guys. Kimberly McLean and Samantha Baxter having a bit of a ding-dong up there. Around the behind the head they roll. Wiping the wall off the cheek. Ear to ear into the first front shoulder. Kimberly McLean from Motueka up there on stand number 2. Samantha Baxter from Pongaroa. Turns and lays it into the long blow. Couple of short blows. Then a big sweeping blow right through to the base of the ear as she steps over. Oh, that sheep's just given a bit of a shake and a wriggle. Wee bit ticklish across the rib cage, some of these girls. The sheep, that is. Another blow. She'll turn for home very shortly, but that sheep's just kicking a wee bit, allowing Kimberly to come back at her. So Kimberly this time wipe the backbone, wipes the wool off one side and then the other side, and she'll turn for home. Together, blow for blow now. Kimberly McLean, Sam Baxter having their own wee battle, these two, as they work their way down over onto the last front shoulder. Samantha Baxter from Pongaroa down over the last front shoulder. Kimberly McLean does the same on stand number 2. So just the two girls having the last say in this heat, but don't count them out, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye on the quality points. Kimberly McLean with a 1 so far on the board and a 1.5 at the back. So that is very impressive on stand number 2. Down she pours. Down comes Samantha Baxter. Ooh, Kimberly's pulled his head through as she should do, just to keep it under control. Well done, Kimberly. You got to think one step ahead of these girls. Right out to the toe for Samantha Baxter. Another couple of shots for both of them. Both these competitors. This is Heat 5 in the Farmers Weekly sponsored Junior Shearing Heats.
Shear well. Relax.
Huge thanks to our sponsors. And Kimberly McLean hits the time clock button and her timer stopped, and so does Samantha Baxter. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Heat number 5 of the Farmers Weekly Junior moving on into Heat 6.
Could we have Ronnie King to the announcers table, please?
Heat 6. Sumas Boyle, Henry Mayo, Joseph Gordon, Daniel Owen, Mark Gwynn and Mikhail Roos. Those 6 if you'd like to head up on the stage. Heat 7, Craig Naylor, Torpia Barracliff, Kevin Daniel, Brody Morrell, Heath Barnsdale and Hayden Sargent. Could you guys please assemble to the left of the stage?
Right, back down to the pressing until we get the green light. Where are they up to? All right, Fiona Healy, she says, well, we're going for the 150. Nice tidy workroom, nice and flat and even here. That's what you want, folks, when she comes to driving those pins through later on. She just wants chunks of wool. She's trying to drive it through. That's not the go. Jackie Parku, she's still got the bottom box. It's half full at this stage. Takes a deep breath. Hasn't been on this stage before. Been on other stages, but not this one here as far as Woolhandling and Shearing and the likes go. And of course a Shearing judge now. That's great stuff. As she goes in for a handful, she looked across and said, right, I'm with the champion. I said to her when I was there, when we chat to her to gather a bit of information for the audience's sake, she said, I said, you're up with the champion of 8 years, and she smiled as if to say, good. That's what we like. We'll just go along with her. She can't put too many feet wrong if she's won it 8 times now. So she loads up the bottom box. Stuffing it in with her hands, and once again we have the green light and we have a lot to get through, so we'll swing back to the shearing.
We're ready to go. Timekeepers are good. Judges, competitors, go.
I'll just jump in there. Could the senior wool handling competitors, could you register now, please? It is after lunch, but we would like all senior wool handlers. If you could register now, that would make it so much better. So if you're a senior wool handler, please register now.
Righto, here we go, live. We're going to move straight on. We're going to move straight on. We're not stopping for a lunch break. So we're when the shearing judges are complete, they'll go out for lunch. So we got up on the front stand, we got Seamus Boyles from Scotland, by golly. It's been hot over in Scotland lately. They tell me that the hottest winter's day in 120 years just the other day. We got Henry Mayo on stand number 2 from England. Masterton's Joseph Gordon on stand number 3. Daniel Owen from Wales. International event, this one, also from Wales. Mark Gwynn. And down then we got Miguel Reis from Spain, is it down there? I can see, by golly. This is great for the shearing world. Look at it, to see all these international shearers. So we've only got one of our local lads up against the 5 others. No pressure, just keep hard at it. You know the name of the game. You go up there and you shear these woolly monsters to the best of your ability. Make the job right.
Senior wool handlers, as it said, we will not be stopping for lunch. We're going to roll on. So if you're sitting back, please come and register now. Senior wool handlers. There's only one more event after this, and then we'll be rolling into the senior wool handling. So please register now.
Righto, we have an urgent one. We have a Subaru outside, HKL 943. There is a child in the car. If you have a mother here with a child in the car outside, a Subaru, will you please attend immediately? A Subaru with a child in the car, distressed. So here we go. Back with the shearing now. We have those yellow scores up there. That'll tell you where the shearers are in their rankings. At the front at the moment is Darren Bryant, but we still have another 2 or 3 heats to go. Here we have standing number 1, the Scotsman. A little bit of trouble getting that sheep out the pole roll, but he's got it done now. Out the last leg on stands 3 and 4, the Gordon. Gordon and Owens down there on stand number 4. On 5, Mark Gwynn from Wales down the first off leg on the last shoulder. On stand number 6, going pretty well. Well, look at him down under the shoulder, full of concentration. Nothing in it at all between across all these shearers. Mayo from England up over the top. You can just sense a little bit of an increase as we get halfway through the first day here at the 59th Golden Shears. The pace is just starting to lift a little tad, Norm.
Yeah, it certainly is. It needs to come up. Of course, these competitors, they're looking for a spot in the top 18, John, aren't they? Top 18?
Yeah, that's correct.
So they need to be on top of their game. Here's the Golden Shears. There's no second chances here, ladies and gentlemen. The best of the best on each of the grades work their way into their top 18. If they want a spot, they need to put their best foot forward right from the heats. Can't just sit back and cruise through or think they're going to cruise through. And great to see a lot of our international shearers popping up there now. Seamus Boyle from Scotland on 1. Henry Mayo, the young single man from England on stand number 2. Just sort of drop that one in there, girls. Daniel Owen, he's a Welshman. Mark Gwynn, a Welshman also on stand number 5. Mikael Raus from Spain on stand number 6. Also a single man, girls. Keep your eye on this young Spaniard. He's from Mallorca in Spain. Mikael Royce. We'll get it right. We'd like to get these guys' names right. I have seen him in a couple of competitions leading up to the Golden Shears down south. He's going pretty good.
I'll just make sure. Ronnie King, could you come to the announcer's desk, please? Ronnie King.
So yes, John, the time's picking up a wee bit, all right. Seamus and Henry all done and dusted. Mark Gwynn, the Welshman on stand 5, straighten his back. He can watch the rest of the field come home. So now the pressure comes on the rest of the field. Young Joseph Gordon, local man on stand number 3. Downey making a beautiful job by the look of that. Right out onto the back leg. Very, very clean. Joseph slides around over the back leg. Daniel Owen, the Welshman, there as well. Back leg for Daniel. They both reach for the button. Time clock has stopped on stands 3 and 4. Mikael Rees on stand 6, the Spaniard. Another couple of shots. And he'll turn for home. Right up the backbone he sweeps. One either side of the backbone. Might even drop another one in if it's sitting nicely. And then he can turn for home. So we can see him on the big screen up there as well. A close-up of his handsome face, girls. Looking for a bride as he turns down over the last front shoulder.
I'll just hop in there, Norm. Senior Woolhandling, could you guys please report in now so we can get everything done? Senior Woolhandling, could you register now, please?
That's right, Nuki. So all you senior wool handlers, you're up next. There's only maybe 2 heats left of this Farmers Weekly Junior. So if you're in the senior wool handling, come and register now. Make sure we know you're here. Get your T-shirts or whatever, and they can do the draw. So Mikael Rees down over the tail, right out to the toe. Another couple of shots, and the young Spaniard will be done and dusted. He'll be able to hit the time clock. There it is, folks. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Farmers Weekly sponsored junior shearing heat number 6.
Could Phil Morrison or Ronnie King please come to the announcers table?
Okay, Heat 7 in the junior shearing. Craig Naylor, Torpia Barracliff, Kevin Daniel, Brody Horrell, Heath Barnsdale, Hayden Sargent. Could they hop on the board now, please? And Heat 8, our final heat of the junior shearing. Levi King, Atafai Hadfield, Matthew Smith, Sean Story, Katie Reid and Ryan Kirk. Could they assemble to the left of the stage, please?
All right, thanks, Nookie. Hey, 18 minutes 30 we have been going. Well, not us, but these ladies have been great competitors. They are. Oh, Fiona says she takes a deep sigh and blows the hair out of her eyes so she can see what it needs to do be next. Clears the way. Jackie Parku pulling that down once again, aiming for 150 kgs of weight. They are really working hard. It's a big 20-minute burst. It's no 100-metre dash here. And she had to stop a couple of times, take a breather, get a bit of support from her fan club to say, come on, pull that down, Jackie, keep at it. But over here, your 8 times winner. Not your current at the moment, but her reputation definitely comes before her.
Thank you. Okay, we're ready to go. Heat 7 underway. Timekeepers are good. Judges, competitors, go. Into the pan now. Looking pretty good. Craig Naylor from England. Torpia Barracliff from Pew Pew. Kevin Daniels from Spain. Brody Horrell from down on the Gore. Heath Barnsdale on stand number 5 from Aria, and down on stand number 6 the local lad Hayden Sargent, pumping in the iron again as they down the belly in 3 good shots, probably 4 on these big bellied ewes, just to take all that undermined wool off and present the good wool for the wool handlers to shoot into the different categories. Here they shoot down the last leg. Good strong arms from this man, this Englishman on the front stand, Craig Naylor. Up over the top comes Wairarapa. By golly, these young fellas from up in the King Country, keen as mustard. Been shearing for a couple of years now, just at the competitions, and he's making a good fist of it as he comes round the back of the head towards that first off shoulder. Kevin Daniels. Into the long blow he goes. Working around and dropping into that off shoulder now. Look at it. Making it look easy, the young man. Down to the last side. Will be going shortly, but who's going to be first to get there? Well, it's what we call the money side of the sheet as they complete the long blow now. Looks like it could be in the middle of the field. Daniels is about the first to swing. Close by, he's hard on his heels is Brodie Horrell. A little bit back off the pace. Down on stand number 5 is Heath Barnsdale. Round the back of the head, and here he comes now, just trailing the youngster, just trailing the field a little bit, but there's no pressure on. This is only sheep number 1. A lot can happen as we come across the last shoulder here on the front and on 2 as well. Is this on your resume for your School C subjects? As the young Torbjörn Barraclough comes across here, he might get some brownie points as he comes out the last side. As they all qualify, trying to qualify through to that final later on in the program. It's the semi-final I'll be aiming for at this stage, one step ahead of time. Learn to walk before you start to run. As they shoot that one down the portal. Well, Sean, the Englishman, steps into the pen now. Showing a lot of confidence. That's the story. Beautiful big sheep supplied by Timatai Station. Hey, and our man out there, Mr. Bruce Tomlin. Marvellous job. They're inky pinky is what we call them, Norman. Hey, they're coming out of this wool in a fine shape, aren't they? He's flat stick and he's forgotten to turn his mic on, but anyway, we'll come across the last side now on stand number 6. Working away, making it look pretty easy. Hayden Sarge, not too far behind us. Heath Barnsdale on stand 5. At the pace, still in the middle of the field, stand number 3. He's taking it away, doing a nice job too. It's all about the quality. By golly, I like it all the way. We seem to be getting better and better as we go further on. The quality, and that's the quality on the board I'm talking about. The second line of figures, that's the number of second cuts to the wool. We're trying to get that nice flat cut across the skin with those 13 tooth comb, 4-prong cutter. Out the last leg they go on the old TV screen. You look at it, you can see it live, you can see it on the TV screen, you can live stream it, you can do all sorts of things here. The second sheep almost completed now for Kevin Daniels, doing a marvellous job on stand number 3. He's going to go out in about 4.5 minutes, and he's done a fine job. Norm, how's that for you?
Oh, yeah. Oh. So the Spaniard this time, first off. Kevin Daniel, good time. Points aren't too bad either. Let's see what the total points are. When they turn yellow, they've all been added together up by the points team up the back. And, of course, a huge thanks to our points team up the back there, at the back of the hall upstairs. Great job they do every year. It's a big job, of course, carries with it a lot of responsibility, and they try and get everything bang on, and they normally do. They're pretty bloody good, our points team. Best in the world. So the rest of the team down over the last front shoulder on the first 2 stands. Brodie Horrell from the deep south, John, the deep south.
You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? The deep south.
Go the south.
You live up halfway up the damn island.
Now, I'm from down there. But anyway, they're a good young man from Southland. He's all done and dusted. Young Torbjörn Barraclough. This young guy's going pretty good. Right out onto the hind leg. You just got to let that sheep settle down a wee bit. Craig Naylor from England on stand number 1. Done and dusted. Living the dream, Craig Naylor. Great to share here at the 59th Golden Shears. Of course, down South Island, we know what comes after 59 is a 60th anniversary next year, folks. Make sure you come back because it's going to be real special. Next year's competition, a big anniversary, 60 years running. So that's going to be great to be a part of. Down over the tail for young Topia. Hits the button. Finally, that sheep just knocked him around a wee bit on the last leg. Well done, young fella. Heath Barnstall and Hayden Sargent. The last front shoulder for these two down there on stands 5 and 6. Not far away, and they'll be looking for that button as well. Just going to bring to a close heat 7. So there's only one heat left in the Farmers Weekly sponsored junior shearing. We've watched when these guys finish. It'll be 7 heats of competitors. Try and work their way around through a couple of big strong sheep. And young Heath, he's got the head forward on this one like he should have. He's having a wee bit of a battle, but he'll get there. Normally the shearer wins.
Well, it's either that or it's on the barbecue, isn't it?
Yep, that's dead right. Yep, that's happened before. Mind you, I like the wool off when I'm eating them. I don't like it half woolly. So you got to win the battle one way or other. Right out over the tail for Heath Barnstall. Hayden Sargent, young man from Masterton. There's Heath. Well done, Heath. Finally got there. And Hayden just has to lie it down for the last couple of shots. Whatever way works for you, Hayden. And out it goes. Time clock stopped. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Heat 7 of the Farmers Weekly Junior. One more heat left to go before we move into the next event.
8th and final heat of the junior shearing. Levi King, Atafai Hadfield, Matthew Smith, Sean Story, Katie Reid, Ryan Kirk.
Right here, down here at the pressing, while you've got the red light on this shearing, we've got Fiona Healy. She has put her hand in the air at 21.15 seconds. So we'll whack that on the scale soon and find out what's happening there. In between times, we're running at 27 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Jackie Parku. She is really, and she's got to get this bail out yet. She's got a 3 more minutes to go. This is hard, Jackie, when you've been concentrating and working as hard as this physically for close to half an hour. You've got to really dig it in. As I said, pressing this wool sucks the energy of you. It's really, really, really hard work. We're going to whack this on, you big, strong fellas, the strong team. So we're going for 150, aren't we? Okay, so this is Fiona Healy's bail, and we're trying to get that 150 mark or very close to it. She's an 8 times champion here, folks. And Fiona pulls off a 153. Woohoo, all right, 153. How do you do that, all those Ks and only be 2 or 3 out? She'll be happy with that. By jolly, she will. Right, over here, talking about a bit of encouragement and celebration, we're going to have to help Jackie home. Now, come on, Jackie, give it everything you've got, darling. Give it heaps. If you and your partner own a shearing contracting business as you do, we know you've got a real good, strong constitution. And when it comes to the hard yards, you'll dig it in. Oh, it's short. Here we go.
I'll just do a call. If you've just walked in, you're a senior wool handling competitor. Please report in now.
Green. Timekeepers right. Judges. Competitors, go. Hey, look at them. They had a quick look up there. Yes, this green light. That's us. We're back into action here. Farmers Weekly Junior. Heat number 8. Levi King from Motu. On number 1, Atafai Hadfield for Wairarapa on 2. Otrahonga's Matthew Smith on 3. Tolaga Bay. Sean Story on stand number 4. On stand number 5 from Scotland, Katie Reid. And Mataro's Ryan Kirk down on the far end. Full stand, that's how we like to see it. Hey, look at them. These guys would have had their entries in nice and early last year. They said, we're coming back. We love the Golden Shears. And we're back here for the 59th year. Up over the tail, the big shots from Levi King from up in the Motu. Look at the power this young man possesses. He should be out on the Saturday rugby field. If anybody wants to grab him, might have Saturday morning free or Saturday afternoon free. You'd probably fill it in a spot or 2 around the back of the head, but he's hoping he's going to shear well enough to get through to the finals. And that's his aim here at the moment. Likewise, the other 5 contestants. Hadfield for Wairarapa. He's starting to develop a nice style here. as he drops down into the first off shoulder. Matthew Smith from Otahonga. Keen competitor, just loves shearing competitions. Whether it be on the shearing board or the assisting with the running of the job, he's there to lend a hand. Young Story on stand number 4. He wants to write his own story here today. He said, I want to make true to that next round. Katie Reid down the far end on stand number 5. Working across the shoulder. Good style, just leading the field at the moment. She's the very competent young shearer, and down across that last side, the money side of the sheep. Ryan Kirk down the far end, under the shoulder and down and out to the flank. He's trying to chase hard. Katie Reid, though, setting the pace here on stand number 5 in the final heat, Norman.
Yeah, it is Katie Reid. Out she goes. I probably would have picked that one. She's been going really good in the competitions down south, Katie. She's a very efficient shearer.
I'll just
A fair bit of
come in
skill.
there, Norm, if it's okay. So Jackie Parker, what's the running time now? She is 32 minutes. She's put the hand up. Give her a super round of applause is what I was trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. She done herself proud. She has been at it for 30 minutes. And did you notice she could have turned before the line and run back, but she didn't. She made sure her presentation and her veil was up to spec. So she's done the shearing industry a lot of pride, plus herself. And her weight is 133.5. Well done, Jackie. Okay, back to the shearing.
Yeah, thanks, Gerald. And of course, a big thanks to you down there. Busy as a wee bee on the pressing floor. Working away with those competitors. Of course, the pressing's a big part of the Golden Shears, that's for sure. Out on the board for Matthew Smith from Otahonga on stand number 3. Sheep number 2. Sean Story just about to get sheep number 2 on the board, and that'll be everyone out with their second and final sheep in heat number 8 of the Farmers Weekly sponsored junior. The junior shearing heats up here. That's what's happening on the shearing stage right now. The last of them, of course, looking for a spot in the top 18, these 6 shearers. Levi King, the big man from Motu on stand number 1, slides up the undermine, top of the head coming off. Artify Hadfield, he's already been there and done that. A White Oil Warrior, round into the first front shoulder. Artify is a very talented young man. Just working quietly into the front shoulder, swing round and lay it down. Matthew Smith, not the world record holder Matthew Smith, but one day maybe. Up the neck he steps on stand number 3. First hind leg for Sean Story from Tolaga Bay. And big Ryan Kirk from the deep south down there on stand number 6, folks. Way through the long blow he goes, but Katie Reid leading the field home. Just pulls the head forward to keep it under control. The Scots girl on stand number 5. Been shearing in New Zealand this season, so great to see her up here at the 59th Golden Shears. Hopefully see her here at the big 60th next year. Over the tail for Katie, another shot, and she brings home the Ringers Cup for this heat. Well done, Katie. And Ryan Kirk, I think he might be the next man finished. Right out to the toe for the big fella from Southland on stand number 6.
Normal, just come in there, please.
Yep.
Jackie Paku, Tyler Hira, Crystal Bird, Lucky Garrett, Jimmy Samuels, Maiden Ellers, Traymon Campbell, and Nicole Katuha. Could you guys please report in? We've been calling it for the last half an hour. Please register now. Thank you.
It looks like they're coming to an end here in the Farmers Weekly Junior sponsored event. Just a couple of shearers left to go as Levi King has a quick look at the score sheet. He says, well, 1.5 on the board's not too bad for me, he says. I'll take that any day. They're just waiting for his sheep to be judged down the back, and the yellow figures will come up shortly, and Matthew Smith comes down that last side. Sean Story as well. He might be looking for Des Williams to go and write a story about him if he makes it through to the next round. Good to see a few old familiar faces in the crowd. Out the last leg comes Matthew Smith. Story down and out to the flank. Putting the big shots in right from underneath the shoulder, right out the last leg. Cleans off the sock. The last of any of these 8 heats of shearers are going to make in the semi-final is about to finish. You're done and dusted. Giving it your best shot here for 2019. Well done. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for those Farmers Weekly Junior Shearers.
Thank you very much, John. Right, back to the individual women's pressing. On press 1, where I'm standing here, we have Kushla Abraham from Masterton, of course, ladies and gentlemen. She is your reigning champion at the moment. And on press number 2, Samantha Gordon. It's only her second time of having a go. The complex details are we've got 2 sisters up on the board too, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, what happens on the paddock stays on the paddock. Judges are ready. Competitors, on your marks, get set, go. Right, here we go. Off to work they go. Couple good local girls. A lot up for stakes here. We're going to have a big finale at some stage in this program. Look at the different styles. Samantha says, right, I'm going to get the pins in here. Kushla decides, well, I'm going to get the branding done. She had her game face on. I was just watching her from a distance, seeing what sort of frame of mind she was in, and she was zoned in. Okay, here she goes.
Gerald, I'll just come in there, please. Could we have the student challenge, Rathkill, Pukimiro, Smedley and Waipoa report to the desks, please? And we'll get you up in about 2 minutes for the student challenge.
Right, thanks, Nookie. Right back over here. So, of course, these 2 here, you'll know Wairarapa, Abraham and Kushla, of course, run the Abraham Shearing contractors here locally. And Samantha works for them, so she's a big family tie-up here in their local hometown. As at this moment in time, they are competing against each other, or maybe themselves. However angle you like to look at that. Right, so the Fadges are in both presses. It won't be long now. Hopefully we keep a wee red light for a wee second where they start doing the crochet, the knitting of these fleeces together to hoist this wool into the bottom or top box. They need some good quick times. Bang these out in 20 minutes if we possibly can. Here we go. It's not going to be long now. I think Kush is going to be the first one for the armful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the light's playing its game. The corners have to be nice and tidy. Kush is taking care of that. Here we go. This younger sister is going to take charge. Knitting, crocheting, knitting it all together. There we go. We're going to get a big bundle, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Masterton, get right in behind her. She's going to take a huge big load, but here comes Kushla. The green light's on, but let's stay with her for a wee second. Booyah, there's one. Kushla pulls a big pile of wool in there and gets a round of applause for it. Whoa, over to you, John. Look at that, they're happy just to be doing what they're doing. Let's stay down here, green light or otherwise.
Junior Shearing.
Kushla, we've got to tone it down a wee bit. We're getting it all hyped up. We can't maintain that level of intensity all day. We've got to lull it down and build it up. But at the moment, Kush says, right, we'll take that top pile off. Bottom box, or the top box looks like it's all loaded and locked up. Another big pile.
Yeah, well, we'll have to cut in here. So the rules are teams, 1 sheep each. 1 sheep each from the time that I say go. All right? We have a green light. You happy enough? This is the student shearing challenge. Timekeepers right. Judges, competitors, go. Here we go, the Golden Shears youngsters competition. A lot of these guys had a crack in the novice shear earlier on. I just see 1 or 2 also in the junior competition. So Wairarapa Station, we got Matt and Jock on the front stand. Rathgill College, we got Jerome and Michael on number 3 stand. Number 4 stand, the Smedley lot of Taylor and Jock. And the Pukirimu, Jesse and Connor down the far end. So this is this is a bit of a challenge, not only here at the Golden Shears, but amongst the various training outfits and scholarships that adds a little bit of pressure, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. Great to see these young guys get up there and have a blast. They shearing a sheep each, of course, and pitting themselves not just against each other, but the other schools, the other colleges as well. So awesome stuff. Wairarapa Station. Young Matt and Jack. Young
Made analysis here.
Matt Austin and Jack Eltort. Dutoit. Behind them, Rathkill, the Rathkill boys, Jerome Papworth and Michael Buick. Smedley, Taylor Locke and Jack Dodson. And the Pukimero team.
Yeah, just about coming there, Norm. We have some wool handlers not reported in. Tyler Hira, Jimmy Samuels and Nicole Petuia. So could they please report in here at the announcer's table? Thank you, Norm.
So back up on the stage, yeah, those 3 competitors for the senior wool handling need to come and report in immediately because they've been called for a long time now. They need to keep things moving. Wairarapa Station on stand 2, round through into the first front shoulder, laying it down. Rathkill, though, they've already been there and done that as he drops a couple of short blows into the long blow. Smedley, Pukimero, round there as well. Smedley laying it into the long blow, the big fella there. But Rathkill slides up the backbone of the sheep. These young guys pitting their wits and their talents against each other as a team, of course. 2 shearers, 1 sheep each. Rathkill, way up the long blow. He's going to keep it in position. He looks like he's got it wrapped around his leg nicely, so he's got his left leg well down on the brisket. Well done, keeping those front legs under control. Once they get away, they start flapping about. Turning for home also is the Pukimero team. Down on the far stand. Another couple of shots, and the Smedley and the Wairarapa Station team will do the same. Turning around onto the last cheek. The money side. 1 shearer waiting in the pen with another sheep. Last side time for these first shearers. Down over the last front shoulder, so not a lot in it, John, as they work their way through the second part of sheep number 1.
Oh no, the tension though, you can just feel it. You can just sense it amongst these youngsters. They're keen to impress, but of course they're dealing with that wild animal, and she's going to impress herself on them if they're not too careful. And just to keep the pressure on, not too tight but not too loose. They can feel you slipping away. And their shearing judge now just turns off the plant, and a wee young fellow there, young Papworth, gets it readjusted. He's going to get on that last side. He had a little bit of trouble with his shore and his individual event just a little while ago. So he's warm enough to be getting on with the job, but the sheep's just not letting him do it. Out the last leg comes Matt for the Wairarapa. Hey, he thinks, I've got this one sussed. A little bit of wriggle and jiggle down there for Smedley. Taylor and Jock, they've got their work cut out, but they're just leading the field at the moment. Pukirimu about to change the shearer. Off comes the handpiece, on goes a fresh one, out comes the second sheep. Whoa, we've got one with a little bit of a tail on it, got that one done. Hey, the Wairarapa boy's got a bit of a grin on his face. He's got to set up the handpiece for his mate as well. Otherwise, the sheep's going to be going away from him. There goes young Papworth there. Finished the... that inconvenient little animal, that one, isn't it? Hey, she wants to show herself off to the public.
That's a nice way of putting it, John. I don't reckon he was calling it an inconvenient little animal.
He's got the new handpiece on now, and he's into the pen out of the road. And Lexi's mate, right, it's your turn. Let's go. But the pace looks like could be Pukirimu. They got away to a good start. And thinking about the job, every shot your time in the sun for your training organisation. All bodes well for the shearing industry that we have outfits that are taking on the challenge of preparing shearers for the next harvest season, or further than that down the track, maybe 5 years they'll be the top notches in the game. The wool industry, while at a bit of a lull at the moment, it is still a magnificent product. And as soon as the world recognises it, we'll have a lot less plastic in the ocean. Down into the first off shoulder there. Swing your sheep around, Wairarapa. Come on, I know you want to show your shots off to the crowd, but you got to keep thinking about what you're doing up there. Right round, swinging it nice and hard, nice and tight against the body. That's the story. Pressure though, look at him. Cookie reboot, doing it right. All on camera too, Norm, isn't it?
All on camera, of course. These guys are all smiling away nicely.
Well, the globe has got warmer, one of the two.
As you'd expect. Doing a great job. That young fellow for Rathkeel in the first sheep, he made a beautiful job. It did get away from him on the last side, but he made a beautiful job. So just keeping an eye on the quality. That's what they would have been taught to do. And that's what they're doing up here on the shearing stage. So where is their lead at? They're all pretty close. Waipoa, Smedley and Pukimiro. Away through the long blow into towards the last side, the Waipoa station team. That's either Matt or Jack, one or the other. Down over the last front shoulder. Might be out in front just slightly, but of course that could change. They tend to want to get away on the last side. Just how they control them will determine who comes off first.